Hey guys, my name is Louis. Hey guys, my name is Louis Rocha, and thank you for clicking on this video. So I have been to quite a few concerts. I've been to around like 10. I have like 3 coming up, and in that time that I've been going to these concerts, I've learned a lot of tips and tricks on how to actually get the best concert experience of your life. If you have been watching my channel, you know that I post concert videos too and stuff like that. I have tips on how to get a seat all the way at the front, how to meet the artists sometimes, which is like really cool. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started on the top 10 concert tricks and tips and tricks for having a good time. So I'm gonna start off with my biggest one, and I always tell people this and no one ever listens to me. Number 1, buy merch before the show, not after, before the show. Every time that I would go with friends to concerts, they would always be like, I want a shirt, but I'm gonna get it after the show. And I'm like, no, literally go stand in line right now. Wait the 15 minutes in line right now, because afterwards what happens is everybody from the concert's like, oh my god, let me go pick up that shirt or that poster that I want. But that's everybody's thought after the show. So every single time that I leave shows, I walk past the merch line and it's wrapping around the corner of the entire building. So please, number 1, always buy your merch before the show, never after. Number 2, parking. To be honest, this is something that I just learned, and obviously this isn't sponsored, but there's this app called Spot Angels that I use, and I live in Chicago, so sometimes the signs are all weird because Chicago's really bad with parking and all that. They want to take your money. So what I do is I go into like a street or a local neighborhood and see if there's any free spots, and then if I'm in a place where I'm not sure if I have to pay for that parking space, what I do is I pull up Spot Angels and I go and like zoom into the street, and it shows you if people have parked there before for free, and most of the time it'll tell you whether you have to pay or not. And I love that. And actually, in my last concert that I went to, I didn't have parking. Normally I would pay using like another app, but this time I just showed up and I'm like, let me park on the street, and I checked and it was free and I didn't get towed or anything. So definitely I recommend, especially if you're in a big city, use Spot Angels. It helps. Number 3, I'm gonna be completely honest, this would only really apply if you're going to like a general admission venue, but if you are a little, let's say, like late and you don't want to be all the way in the back, go to the sides. Go to the sides, especially if it's GA and there's like no people there. Because let me tell you this story. If you saw my Rina Sawayama concert video, which is, it'll be wherever, one of these places if you want to watch that, I was there when doors opened. I was there very late. I actually got there at 6 when doors opened and the show started at like 6:30, and I was like, shit, I'm gonna miss everything. I'm gonna be all the way in the back. I'm really sad and upset. Let me tell you that that's not the case. When I got there, there was so many people crowded in the back, but I noticed that on both sides of the theater, like there was like barely any people standing. And yeah, on one side there was security guards, so they didn't let me pass, but on the other side was like the little bar section and trash cans. I literally stood near the trash cans, but I had the best view. There was no one in front of me. I was there late and I got the best view, and I did not cut off or block off anyone, so I wasn't being like a bad person in that sense. But I literally got there and I got to be near the front, and if you see these pictures right here, like I had a really good view. The only thing that I would say is sometimes you are cut out from some of the stage. So, like for example, there was like a big like pillar or box or whatever that cut off like, I want to say 25% of my view. But honestly, she was up at the front for 90% of the time. So let me tell you, if you do want to go see an artist and you want to be near the front and you're late, go to the sides, because a lot of the times there's going to be not that many people there and you still get a really good view. Number 4, bring a clear bag. Trust and believe that you are going to need a clear bag, because it is so annoying having to hold your merchandise the entire time. This is actually something that I just put into use myself. But I, before at previous shows, never brought like a bag because I was like, what's the point? There's a point. I actually got this 12 by 12 by 8 clear bag, and it's actually pretty cheap. It was like only 13 bucks on Amazon. It's gonna be a lifesaver, because when I went to see Charlie XCX, I bought a poster, I bought a vinyl, and I bought a shirt. I kept dropping the shirt to it, and you can lose that. If you are at a concert, you're not gonna be wanting to hold your merchandise the entire time. It is annoying. Like your arm gets really sore, and it's honestly not a good time, especially if you have like signed merchandise like I had. I wanted to make sure that I didn't like rub off the signature. If you have a bag, you can put your stuff in there and wave your arms around, or like film or whatever you want to do. Trust me, it will help you out, and I know it's gonna help me out for my concert coming up. It's just a good investment to do. It's only 12 bucks. Number 5, if your venue is in the city, please leave before traffic hits. It is annoying to be sitting in traffic when the concert is starting. It has happened to me before, and I hate Chicago because of it. I live a good amount away from the actual city, and a lot of the venues that I go to are in the city. So I try to leave not at 4 or 5, because that's when traffic starts to hit worse, especially at 6. It's like you're just stuck in traffic. I always try to leave at least 3 hours before the doors open so you can at least secure a good seat if it's GA. Please, just if you are in a city, like let's say you live an hour and a half away, leave like 3 hours beforehand, because that's going to be an hour of driving, that's going to be an hour of finding a place, and maybe if you want to go eat food, you have time for that. It's just good to go without being rushed, and you know you're relaxed and you enjoy the show more. So yeah, if you live in a big city, just go like 3 hours beforehand, you'll be completely fine. Number 6, check the seating chart. And this honestly is specific to just certain venues. For example, I went to the Riviera Theater to see Rina Sawayama, and I bought a balcony seat, which was cheaper than the general admission at the time. So I was like, what am I gonna do? I want to be near the action. I like being at the front of concerts all the time. So I was a little sad that I was stuck at the balcony. But when I got there, no one was checking general admission tickets. They were only checking up at the balcony, which is weird because they cost more. I don't get it. But definitely go online, check the venue site, check the seating chart, and if you can try to sneak into like a general admission section where you can get a better view, do that, because trust me, it's so much worth it, and a lot of the times people don't even care. So do that. Number 7, how to meet the artists. Now this is something that it took me a while to learn because I didn't know, but if you want to meet the artist without buying VIP, most of the time this works, but a lot of the times it also doesn't. So it's kind of a toss-up between how the artist is feeling afterwards, or if their security even allows it. Once the concert is done, try to get out of the venue, like, you know, within a reasonable time, like at least 30 minutes after it ends. What I usually do is I leave the venue and I try to just go around the venue and see where the people are waiting, or see where the back door is, because that's normally where equipment is being taken out, because that's where the artist is most likely going to exit. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna have to have a lot of patience, because it does take a lot of time for the artist to come out, and a lot of the time there's gonna be like a bunch of fans waiting outside as well. Try to find those people. Like sometimes they know information that you don't, so it's always good to stick around the groups. This is how I met Rina Sawayama. Like I went to the back where the group of fans was, and I waited and I waited, and I did wait 2 hours, but eventually she came out and I got to meet her, hug her, take a picture, sign my CD. Like it was a great time. But keep in mind that not every artist is gonna do this. A lot of the times artists won't stop. You got to just kind of accept that. But sometimes if you are lucky, they do sign and take pictures with you. It just honestly depends on how they're feeling after the concert, or if their management or security lets them. So definitely, if you want a chance to meet your idol without having to spend a fortune on VIP, go to the back, be with the people that are waiting and meet them and like talk to them. Like they're gonna have the same interest that you have. You get to meet a lot of cool people. So that's also a plus. But yeah, I would definitely recommend doing that. Number 8, always bring cash. Dinerito. Dinerito. You know why? Because it has happened to me so many times where I'm at a venue and I want to buy merch and I don't have cash, because everything's card nowadays. Psych, it's not. For some reason, a lot of smaller venues accept only cash, and I didn't know that. Keep in mind to always bring at least like $80, $100, whatever, however much you want to spend on merch. Just make sure that you bring that in cash, because there have been times where I'm at a concert and I want to buy merch, I don't have cash, and it's only cash payments, and there's not even an ATM. And if there is an ATM, there's like a $5 fee to take cash out of there, because they know that you didn't bring any, so that's how they make their money. Just please always bring however much you are wanting to pay in cash. Bring that. Number 9, bring an empty water bottle. Please do this if the venue allows it. Always also check on the website as well. I've brought water bottles to concerts before, and they have been full, and they always make me dump it out. And I'm fortunate enough where they don't make me dump out the entire thing, because I bring metal bottles, because save the environment, yay, turtles and stuff. But even if they may make you throw it out, even if you bring a plastic water bottle, they normally allow you to refill it inside at the bar or even in the water fountains. But please, please, please bring a water bottle. If they make you throw it out, oh well, but you do not want to be dehydrated, especially if you're in a general admission crowd and you're gonna be around so many people. Please bring a water bottle, because you don't want to faint and you don't want to have to leave the show and go to the hospital and spend all that time and money, and boom, now you don't get to see your artist. It's always good to stay hydrated. Also eat, that's an important thing too, but just stay hydrated. It's like really important. We don't want anyone to pass out. Please just drink water, not alcohol. And if you are drinking alcohol, make sure that you're drinking water too, because you don't want to be that dumb person that pees himself all over the floor. I've seen it happen. No, I haven't, but I want to see that happen. So maybe do it. Just kidding, don't actually. And number 10 is really important, especially if you're going alone, or you're a younger person, or you are a woman. make sure to keep an eye out because there are creeps and weirdos all over, especially if you're in a big city. Just keep an eye out, bring mace, bring some sort of self-defense weapon that they allow you in the venue, because otherwise they make you throw it out. But please always keep an eye out, especially when you're walking back to your car in sketch areas. Especially, I mean, if you're going to a city like Chicago where a lot of violence happens, it's always good to keep an eye out, keep a low profile, especially if you're after a concert. And if you're near a venue and like everybody's going crazy, then I think you should be fine. But if you're walking back in a neighborhood, if you parked in a neighborhood, or if it's just sketch overall, just be safe. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have for you today. If you enjoyed that, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I will be posting a lot more concert tips and tricks if you want that, as well as concert content and just other videos that I decide to make that are all chaotic, and I'm sorry for that. But I will be posting all that every week, so if you are interested in that, make sure to go ahead and hit that button down below. And if you made it this far, thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and I love you. I love you. Say it back. Say it back! I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's all I had for you today. And no, I still don't know how to end videos, so I will just be putting my mouth in the lens. Okay, bye.